Inarguably, the biggest severe weather event last year was the derecho on August 10th. The meteorological tie to the word derecho was coined right here in Iowa back in 1888. University of Iowa physics professor Dr. Gustavus Hinrichs used the term derecho to describe a damaging wind event that happened in 1877. Derecho is a Spanish word for right, direct, or straight ahead, different from the damaging wind of a tornado. It's the sounds and images many eastern Iowans will not soon forget. The powerful line of severe thunderstorms that raced across Iowa, leaving behind a swath of damage from 60 to 130 mile-per-hour gusts. The peak estimated gust was 140 miles per hour on the southwest side of Cedar Rapids at the Westdale Court Apartments. That's where straight-line wind tore off the roof and destroyed most of the exterior walls. Starting off as just a few scattered thunderstorms after 3 a.m., these storms quickly gathered strength and began forming a line right around 7 o'clock in the morning. About an hour later, these storms crossed the Missouri River, and that's when we started to get the widespread damage reports coming in. In fact, we had widespread reports of 60 to 80 mile-per-hour wind gusts in central Iowa as the squall line began to approach eastern Iowa. In fact, as these storms began to track through eastern Iowa, we had winds of 100 to 140 miles per hour being reported in portions of Tama, Benton, Lynn, Cedar, and Jones County, damaging anything in its path from crops to trees and power lines to radio towers and hundreds of buildings. Now, by 2 o'clock, this complex of storms was east of the Mississippi River, but the damage wasn't done yet. This complex of storms continued to track through portions of Illinois, Indiana, and eventually ending in Ohio just after 7:30 in the evening. Now, technically, a derecho is a complex of severe thunderstorms with at least 60 mile-per-hour wind gusts, and it goes over a span of 250 miles at least over a span of about 6 hours or more. The extensive damage prompted Governor Reynolds to declare a disaster emergency. It is estimated the derecho caused $11 billion worth of damage. That was just one of $4 billion disasters in Iowa alone in 2020. The state is no stranger to derechos. Looking at climatology data, Iowa can get a derecho once per year or one every 2 years. The last derecho prior to 2020 moved through northern Iowa in 2019, although not to the size or extent of the August derecho. 2004 and 2005 were active years across the U.S. In 2004, 24 derechos were tracked nationwide, 28 of them in the following year. Not only was it one of the costliest natural disasters in the U.S. last year, the Iowa derecho is now the costliest thunderstorm event in U.S. history. That just goes to show its scope, and Iowans are still cleaning up the debris.